Hi guys, thanks for tuning in this episode of the Nick Egan Times. On this episode, we have an awesome guest. We have Ryan Clark. Ryan is a pop singer, songwriter, and crooner. Ryan Clark is making his imprint on the worldwide music scene. Ryan has an impressive 250 plus shows under his belt. Ryan recently released his single, highly anticipated EP, Trust. Ryan Clark is set to continue, touring throughout the rest of 2021, along with promoting his latest collaboration with Voice Alarm Jesse Lee, with Jesse Lee called My Way. For more information, including upcoming dates, you can visit ryanclarkmusic.com. Welcome, Ryan, and thanks for coming on podcast.
Hey, thanks so much for having me. It's
How's it all been going over there?
been going good. It's been really good. Things are going really well here.
And how's the pandemic and COVID been affected you personally and professionally?
It's been rough. I had a bunch of tour dates on the books, and all of it got canceled last year. And then I kind of changed directions and did something else for a little while until I could get back into doing music. And then there's still a lot of uncertainty for fall time, so I'm really unsure of what's going on. But yeah, it's been rough.
Yeah. Well, down here we're in lockdown, so I definitely can relate. So it's been a couple of
Wow.
months now. So yeah, it's been tough for sure. All right, let's just jump straight into it. Tell me about your story and how the music all begun for you.
Yeah, I always was into music. I started playing piano when I was really, really young. And then my dad got me a guitar from the newspaper around Christmas time one year and sat in my room for about 2 years. And then I finally decided to pick it up and then I just never put it down. I just kept playing much my whole life and was doing gigs, learning everything I possibly could. And then I finally moved down to Nashville to really pursue music.
Amazing. And I guess when you really got serious about the music, how was the process of that? And like being in Nashville, how's that all happened and transpired for you? Like getting into the real professional side of it.
Um, I don't know. I always took it very professionally. I think that's what always set me, apart from a lot of people is I took it very seriously. Anything that I set my mind to, I tend to like obsess over until I perfect it. And so I always took it seriously and, tried to learn how to make it a business rather than just a hobby.
Incredible. And what's the songwriting process like for you, especially for doing the genre country music and that kind of pop country music, those kind of genres you're doing? Yeah, what is the process behind that?
Um, it's been it's changed throughout the years, but um, pretty much I just lay down some guitar chords. I usually have to wait to get inspired a little bit or feel something that I need to write about in order to express myself somehow. Something has to affect me somehow in order for me to be compelled to, want to write something. Um, so yeah, it's typically just I go off of like emotions and how I'm feeling on certain things, and that's how I typically write my music and just let it kind of come out from the heart.
Amazing. What about the collaborations you've done and yeah, everything like that? So with Jess Lee, those side of things. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so when I moved down to Nashville, I started doing a lot of co-writes. I hadn't really done co-writes before, but started writing songs with other people. And I wrote a song called we called it "Had It My Way" when we first had written it, and Jess Lee and I decided to change it to "My Way." But I had this song, and I decided that my co-writers Charlie Reynolds and Lexi McKenzie, um, I wanted to pitch the song to someone who I thought would do a really good job, and I pitched it to Jess. She said that she would love to be a part of the song, and so we got together, hung out. Um, Worked on the song together, started putting a game plan together for putting the song out, and that's really how it all happened. And then she and I became great friends from it, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been cool seeing this song, get a little bit of traction as well so far.
Yeah, terrific. I can see obviously when I looked on Spotify too, it's definitely a lot of traction. Tell me about the specific songs that that are out there and you've released. All I Want to Do, Trust Me with Your Love, Nothing But Everything in My Way. Talk to me specifically about those songs.
Yeah, I think the first EP was mostly written in college, and it was about a lot of like younger love, um, and a lot of just love stories. And then the second EP was kind of the same vein, but a little bit more in the higher production, because it wasn't made in my dorm room. It was made here in Nashville, and a little bit. I took it a little bit more seriously. So, but yeah, I mean, they're love songs inspired by me going through heartbreak and experiencing life pretty much. I mean, Country Love and City Boy is like the one song on that EP that's not about heartbreak or love. And that's, just about me as a child and growing up. I wanted to have at least one of the songs not be a love song for the second record.
Yeah, that's amazing. You've done incredible. The music's great. It's excellent. What's some of I guess, the lessons that you've learned so far in the music career that have been key takeouts, I guess, of what you've actually gone through?
I'd probably say to just outwork everybody else, because there's a lot of talented people in the music business and just in the world in general. But I think a lot of people don't put in the right kind of work or have the work ethic. And that, I think, has been my biggest asset for myself, is just the way I work and how I get things done is a lot more precise than how most people view the music business.
Yeah, for sure. And what other music projects should I say that you're working on at the moment?
Well, now that the single is out with Jess and my EP is finished, it's pretty much been trying to take a little bit of a step back and just do a little bit more shows, hang out with my girlfriend here in Nashville, and spend time with my friends and family. Just try to focus again on like being a human and not focusing on making music as much. I mean, I've got my third record, which is in my sights for next year or the year after that. But I really want to let this EP sit with people and the single sit for a little while and see, how it does, and just kind of let it sit for a little while, and then I'll put out some more music when I feel I'm ready for it.
Awesome. I guess, what else do you like to do aside from the music side of things? What are your hobbies and passions?
Ooh, I'm a big foodie, so I love food. I love to work out. Staying healthy is part of my try to be my daily routine. I like watches. I'm a big watch guy. I love, another thing that's interesting during COVID was I did a lot of renovations, and I found that renovating was a big part of like something that I'm interested in, which I hadn't really thought about ever doing, but I really enjoy that as well. So, renovating homes and fixing things up, tearing things down, redesigning things. It's very creative in the sense that it's almost like music, but in just a different form, for me.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Well, if you could go back and you're 18 again, and you could change anything, what would you change?
In what you said?
If you're 18 again and you could go
18.
back, you could go back in time and you could change anything, what would you change?
I'd probably change not dating as many girls as I did. I wouldn't have as many songs, but going through all that pain and heartbreak was rough. So yeah, that'd probably be it. Would be like, take my time with the dating and not jump into things as much as I used to, which I think is it's just how people are when they're younger, though. They just dive in and they don't realize what that affects later, and like that person you're dating is like such a impactful piece of life.
Yeah, for sure. And I definitely believe a lot of people can relate to that, because yeah, you learn a lot from these situations and going through it. So yeah, definitely completely agree with that. And I guess, have you done much traveling? So obviously it's around the United States. Have you done much international traveling? And is that on the cards for post-COVID or when the borders open?
I would love to. And I mean, yeah, my sister travels all over right now. She's out in Croatia, and I'm really hoping to get out there for the fall time. Um, but I haven't done as much as I want to. But I've done my fair share. I've been to Mexico and done, some different places. And I'd like to just explore more. So the answer is yes. I'd love to.
You got to come down to Australia.
Oh, if you're sending me an invite, I'm there. All right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you come down here. You got a place. We'll have some beers. We'll have a good time.
Sounds like a great time. I'm with it.
All right, cool. And where does Ryan see himself in 10 years? Just generally speaking, where do you see it and where do you vision that?
10 years. So that would make me 36. Probably with a wife and kids. Mostly spent with them, and on times I'm not, doing show like on the road and doing shows. It'd be mostly with them, and um, playing as many gigs as I possibly could, but also trying to find a healthy balance between family life and business of music. Owning my own recording studio that is really successful. I think that's another thing I'd really like to get into is more in the music recording business and the behind the scenes. Also, I love performing for other people. So, helping other musicians and helping them out any way I can to help further their career if I believe in their music, and helping them in that way as well.
What inspires Ryan Daly?
Inspires Ryan Daly. Oof. I think it's the thought of freedom, the thought of being able to write music when I want to, do things when I want to, not having a set routine that makes life mundane. I think that is my biggest moving factor as far as why I work so hard with music and anything else that I do in life. Is just the ideology that you can have anything you want if you work hard enough for it, and the freedom comes with that, and just making great music and things that people can relate to. That it's so cool to see that people know the songs and love the music. It's just inspiring to know that people are actually enjoying the music after I put it out.
Yeah, amazing. And what's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Best piece of advice, probably be from my dad. And it would probably be yourself and do, be yourself and just do the best you can do, and that's all you can do. I think a lot of times we beat ourselves up with never feeling like we're getting enough accomplished or feeling like we don't have everything that we need. And I think my dad he's very good about explaining to me and my sister that you don't need a lot of things in life, material things. It's more about just being present, being a good person. And yeah, I think just all the advice that the fatherly advice that everyone gets, or that people, with a father gets, I think that's really just, he was a very influential figure in my life. So I would say all the advice that my dad gave me.
Awesome. Ryan, thanks for coming on the podcast. I do appreciate it. I think
absolutely.
I think your music's incredible. I think you're on a great trajectory with everything you're doing, and yeah, thanks again.
Thank you so much, and I will be hitting you up when I go there. So don't
Mate,
don't worry.
We're gonna have a great time. I can already see it now.
Yeah, sounds great. Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thanks, mate.